for USA Tokyo 2020 next season. Back to business here, just coming off a couple of dramatic heats. Jordy Smith out of the title race. Felipe Toledo out. We've got our last contender coming up next against Kolohe Andino. And this heat just getting started with Michel Bourez and Deivid Silva. Silva, rookie on tour. Michel Bourez, longtime veteran and one of the most accomplished surfers competing at not just Pipeline, but the North Shore put together. Well, Michel Bourez in his career, he won the events in Haleiwa and Sunset relatively early. As we lock in with the rookie Deivid Silva, not quite getting barreled there. So not much of a score as he kicks out to see what Michel's going to do. The Tahitian holds his position with priority.
It goes world champion, Triple Crown, Pipe Master. I think that's the trio that you would love to have on your mantelpiece.
100% pots. Michel just went for one. Now it's Deivid Silva again, getting into the spot he wanted to be. Getting credit for a solid-looking barrel. Not incredibly deep, but it was wide open. And with the conditions this afternoon, it feels like that'll be enough for a keeper for Silva.
I mean, a beautiful wave there. Slides in nice and clean. It looks like he's been riding this wave for quite some time. That was beautiful positioning, great wave selection as well, and thankfully that wind is dying off. It's starting to go back into the right direction, and we're starting to see some clean waves come through again. So great stuff there from Deivid Silva. That is definitely going to be a keeper score there for him. Beautiful positioning. You can see standing a little further up the board, getting his foot off that kick pad, so you kind of release the pressure off your fins. Deivid Silva comes out nice and clean. What a wave there for him, and you can see pretty excited about that.
It's all about, for all the kids around here, grab at least a piece of one of their favorite surfboards, take home, and maybe put it back together. Here we go. We've got Silva gunning through some foam balling sections, but so deep he goes down. Previous score, though, for Deivid Silva, 5.67. Solid number for the afternoon. So that's also going to help Silva's cause. Going to an event that's had a serious upgrade with 10,000 points on the line. Knife in the takeoff. Michel Bourez is able to burn some speed to get sucked into the pit, but he'll get picked up and sent over the falls.
You're absolutely right.
Can you play that game in waves like that?
You got to be young, you know. I think it's a young man's game, that one, I think, Joe.
Having a look and taking it and going straight down is Silva.
That was a very interesting wave selection there from Deivid Silva. He had priority, Joe, and he took a 3-foot closeout. Now, things like that you just cannot do at this level. You realize, and you look in their eyes, and that's that look you used to have, you know, and sometimes you can get away from that. Here we go.
Now looking into a solid section from Tahiti. Michel Bourez, the 2016 Pipe Master, gets a very familiar feeling. Exiting the pit at Pipeline. That's his best score so far. Michel needing a 5.87 for the lead off the rookie.
This could be a real kickstart for Michel Bourez. Beautiful takeoff, and there's that backside tube riding stance. One of the best in the game, one of the more solid guys you'll ever see. Charges at Chopu, charges all around the world, but loves Pipeline, and comes out of that barrel nice and clean. Look at the conditions, Joe. It was onshore. It was howling onshore about an hour ago, and now look at it. It is clean offshore, and we're starting to see glimpses of what we saw earlier today. Beautiful, clean faces. Waves literally spitting surfers out each and every time. So Michel Bourez loving that moment right there.
His presence is felt as he drives through those crazy pits. Split peak, Silva trying to stall some speed.
Have a look here. A split peak. Michel Bourez comes off the bottom, just getting caught behind the section, but managing to come around it and somehow pulls through the back of an absolute beast of a wave. Well, if he wasn't your hero, he is now.
What a great message from WSLPure.org. Stop trashing waves is your hashtag, but we're going into live action. Michel Bourez trying to find a pit at Pipeline, cleaning up by the moment, locking into a solid one, fading this bottom turn, and now setting up the hollow section. Deivid Silva almost got barreled.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible heat on paper. It's such an even matchup. I feel like Kolohe has done a lot of hard work out here as well, and so I'm really excited to see him out there, and yeah, I think he's well aware that this is like a make or break heat for him. So I really am excited to watch this heat.
A lot of these guys like saving lives, like fishing, They live that true Hawaiian lifestyle on the beach each and every day. Michel Bourez head down. It looked like he had a nice smooth entry into that one. Worked his way back out. Another incomplete. Continues with Silva. Pulls in right under the hood. Didn't need much. One speed pump and he's clear to safety pots.
Yeah, it's 1.57, so we're going to see a lead change. And that all comes down to that mistake Michel Bourez made. You know, paddling for that wave, a literal closeout, went straight down the face, handed priority over. And we've seen that really come into play today. You know, Shane, when there's not a lot of waves out there, you've got to make sure you utilize that correctly. Get the ball rolling. Deivid Silva, as you said, needing a small score. And, well, a quick little in and out for him, enough to get a lead change. It's amazing how clean it's got. I mean, what, half an hour ago it was absolutely howling on shore.
He was so good at winning heats, huh, Pops?
Yeah. I mean,
so he knows how to do it.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, you know, back then it was four to the beach, and you couldn't afford to make mistakes.
Locking into a crazy section, Michel Bourez.
Wow, that was insane.
Stands tall and celebrates with the spit at pipeline. The barrel is, the bigger he's going to feel when he comes out. And how big did Michel feel after this one?
Wow, I mean, that was unreal there. You know, didn't slide straight down into it, couldn't afford to, had to go down and then hold that rail and just pull up nice and tight. I mean, he looks so comfortable in waves like that, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, he's done that a million times at Chopo and here at Pipeline. And I feel like he really rode that wave really well. Really beautiful drop and a big old pump into it. It was a shame it didn't wall off a little bit more length on that barrel, but I feel like he rode this wave nearly perfectly.
8.17, Joe, so that's the first real solid wave in this heat. There's been 5s and 6s, but that one there, well deserved. An excellent score for Michel Bourez. Snapped his board that he, the 6-4 that he was on, riding a 6-3 now. But, you know, Michel Bourez, one of those guys that takes off under the lip. You know, he's got that ability.
He's one of the best on his backhand in heavy barrels, there's no doubt.
So Michel Bourez with a Triple Crown dream on the line will roll in again. He is on a roll. The Spartan flexing against the rookie. Got the lead and some with the 817.
And a lot of times that foam is your friend. I mean, even though we're seeing people still on slightly shorter boards, like as you can see, Michel's board doesn't look long at all.
Now locking in is Silva. Trying to stall to get barreled. Just a quiet one there at the tail end.
It's kind of crazy how quick you can get back out and get another score. Like we saw Michel just get 2 back-to-back hammer scores, and it was cool because you saw Michel paddling back out, and that one pot just swung wide onto almost that gums sandbar when he was coming out. He was way on the sandbar at that point.
Second place is less than it used to be on the Jeep leaderboard. It used to be 8,000. Now it's in the 7,000 range. Still 10,000 for a win. So the world title is really based on multiple wins in the same season. Pulling into this barrel at pipe is Deivid Silva. He'll still be chasing a 957. Safe on both tours for next season, but still trying to get a perfect wave at pipe while it's pretty uncrowded at the moment.
I actually went for a swim last night and watched the sunset out of Pipeline. And I went to watch Italo surf, and I took my GoPro out there and got a couple really rad shots of him and some other guys, some of the local boys. And it was so cool to see how intense it is from that impact zone view. Pretty awesome.
Pretty gnarly. Loving our time with Shane Dorian. He'll continue to stay with us for the call as Michel Bourez takes out Silva to move on to the round of 16.